This is Andy Grider, and I am really happy to be here with you again this week. Hosting and producing Unique this week, a production of uniquenessispower.com. With us today, we have Justin Breen of Brepic Communications and author of 2 best-selling books. Just an amazing gentleman. I'm very fortunate to have him, somebody that works with and helps facilitate things for the 0.01%, the 1/10 of 1% to under the idea, Justin, that those are the folks that help facilitate everything for everyone else. So let's dive in right there and let's talk about that unique mindset of only working with the high achiever crowd, kind of how you got started with that idea, and go from there. Thanks for being here.
You're welcome. Yeah, I was listening to your interview with Stephen Gwinnett. She's really smart, really good interview. And how she almost died, and then I'll use that to create a company or a mindset that helps others. So I mean that's entrepreneur life, like overcoming adversity, dealing with immense trauma or depression, and then okay, I'll just create something with that. So that's kind of how my brain works.
I was going to say, and I love that about your brain. I love that about you. You guys have been doing Brepic now for about 6 years.
Yeah.
Talk about Brepic a little bit. Talk about how that came about, and I know you started in journalism. I know you started in PR.
Yeah.
That it became a global effort.
Yeah, my brain so most of my day is talking to the world's top ideator visionaries, and then my brain simplifies everything into patterns. So it's like ADHD meets hyper focus, minor Asperger's, if that if that makes sense. So everything's a pattern. So formula for creating a successful global company is surprisingly simple. Is you see a problem, create solution, problem solve, successful global company. So it's the same formula. So first company, I was a journalist for 20 years, created entire business based on how PR firms annoyed me for 20 years. So saw a problem, created solution, problem solve, successful global company. To dovetail that, I see a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners that try to be everything for everyone. So that's a problem. So I guess my brain created a solution for that. Our company is one thing for one type of person. So our company's entire process is on the website. There's no tricks or gimmicks. And then we only partner with visionaries who want to change the world. So not humans, not consultants, not business owners, just pure visionaries who want to change the world. So it's the same formula. Solve problem, companies trying to be everything for everyone, create a solution, one thing for one type of person, problem solve, successful global company. So it's fun to be in the visionary space all day, every day.
Absolutely. I was going to say it certainly brings an awful lot to the table. For you bring an awful lot to the table for the folks that you do connect with. I know, when you and I first got together, one of the things you concentrated on was wanting to know what my Kolbe score was, and I know that's that of a lot of people.
Yeah,
So
everyone, not a lot, everyone.
okay, fair enough. Everyone, I didn't want to be inclusive unless I was
Yes.
100% sure, but now I am. All
Yes.
right. So you want to know everyone's Kolbe score? Why? What does that bring you?
Yeah. So again, simplify into patterns. And I just want the answer. And I don't really like context or input. I just want the answer. And there are exceptions, including me, but the overwhelming majority of visionaries, folks we partner with, they're at least 8 quick starts on the Kolbe scale or Kolbe test, however you want to call it. So quick start means idea, 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 not afraid of risk, not afraid of risk, not afraid of risk. We'll jump out of a plane, even if you don't know if the parachute's going to open. But so the overwhelming majority of visionaries are 8, 9, or 10 quick starts. A 7 or under like me, a 10 is the highest, but a 7 under like me. I've talked to the head of Kolbe, and then Gino Wickman, who EOS, pure genius, also an 8 quick start, by the way. But he's like a 7 or under quick start can slip into that visionary role every now and then, but they have to have extraordinarily high IQ and or EQ, and they can game the system. But I will talk to lower quick starts one time, and then that's it. And it's up to them to make a decision after that. And then in 6+ years as an entrepreneur, our firms have partnered with 2 people, 2 under a 7 quick start that I know. So,
Well, like you said, it's all about patterns, right? I mean, you know because you know. This has
right,
kind of led you to writing the first book, which is Epic Business. And lessons that I took out of that when I went through and read it is, planting seeds and waiting for growth, and surrounding people that remind you of your future self. One thing that I've believed for a long time is that everything's an investment, not a cost,
right,
as well. But one of the biggest keys that came out of that was family first, and I think that's absolutely key to the way you run everything you do. Uh,
right.
and it should be for every entrepreneur. Let's talk about why.
Well, that's an interesting question. To me, it's illogical. I live in like logic and then vision, but like it's illogical for someone not to put their family first. I mean, it's like the fundamental reason for any living thing is to create more living things. If that, I don't know if there's an argument against, I mean, maybe there is, but if there is an argument against that, there'd be no life of any kind if that wasn't the fundamental reason. And and then to not put that fundamental reason first is illogical. It's illogical. So I talk to 1 to 2, again, simplify into patterns. So I talk to 1 to 2 people like us every single week, and again, all I do is talk to entrepreneurs. So not business owners, not humans, not consultants, just pure visionary entrepreneurs. So I talk to 1 to 2 of those folks every single week that have let entrepreneur life destroy their family life or prevented them from anything meaningful. So I'm like, I mean, if I heard that one time, I would never do it. But when you talk to 1 to 2 people like us every single week that have done that because of entrepreneur life, that's a bad idea. So the new book, Epic Life, is how to build collaborative global companies while putting your loved ones first. So to me, that's the only, I'm 100% black and white. My wife is a pediatrician, and I'm very grateful for that. She's a high empath includer. She's 100% gray, but I'm 100% black and white. So to not put your family first is illogical. And then the only message that I believe in is building collaborative global companies while putting your loved ones first. There is no other message. I don't see any other message in my world, period.
And as you've alluded to, Justin, is you see a problem, you solve a problem, and you've got success, and that's a problem that you've solved. And I think
It's
that
the same formula.
yeah, yeah.
It's the same. It's once you understand the patterns and the formulas, then the rest of this stuff takes care of itself. And you're a very high level. You understand that at a very high level. I don't know if you've ever done your IQ, but it's got to be high. IQ is pattern recognition. 140 and above is genius. That's less than 1% of the population. Most people I talk to are 140 and above. When you get 160 and above, there's almost no human understanding. Like it's like robotic. Think like NASA, MIT, Caltech brain. So it's very hard to be human in any capacity. And then my wife and I are both 139, which is super interesting. So we're both bridges between true genius and human. I'm guessing, have you done your IQ?
Yeah, 136.
You're one, so you're a bridge. That's
Yeah.
why you're chief dot connector. It makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yep. It's funny because it's one of those things I think people misconceive. They think that the higher it is, the more intelligent you are, and that's sort of
Humans misconceive that.
what's that?
Humans misconceive that.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, and the humans are a lot of people.
Not in my world.
Well, okay, fair, fair, fair. So
Yeah.
let's talk about Epic Life, because let's mention with Epic Business, I know you wrote that out of basically what was a list of things that you had been going over and that kind of thing. Is that sort of how Epic Life developed as well, or was that something that had a little more of a
Yeah,
run to it?
I can hear it, so I can hear your brain how it processes things. So you just recognize patterns. So which I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for that. But like what I learned is that I am not an ideator, meaning strength finders, Gallup Clifton strength finders, there's 34 of them. Most of the people I talk to are top 5 in ideation. So idea, 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 idea. Shiny object, shiny object, shiny object, shiny object, shiny object. Attention deficit disorder, not a disorder. Sign of genius, mislabeled by humans, but humans call it a disorder. It's not. But humans, they're not a visionary, so they don't understand it. So let's call it a disorder. But so I'm the opposite of that. I'm 32 out of 34 in ideation, 32 out of 34. So very few great ideas. However, uh, all I do is talk to people like you, and then 1 or 2 times a month, more like 1 or 0, but we'll just say 1 to 2 times a month, someone like you will say a truly great idea, and I'm like, oh wow, that's amazing. And then top 3 strength finders are activate, maximize, achieve. So, oh, that's a great idea. I'll activate, maximize, achieve that into my life. And then also we'll write it down in a list. And then when that list gets to like 40, 45 plus great ideas, then that's enough to write a book on. But it took 2 years to get enough great ideas to write Epic Life, and then wrote it in 16 days because activate, maximize, achieve. But it took 2 years to get the ideas because I have to talk to ideators to provide those ideas for me.
Right. Well, one of the things that I thought was key out of that was, talking about mindset, and talking about having the right mindset for what you're planning on doing. So let's talk about what an entrepreneur's mindset needs to be in order to succeed.
Needs. That's the key. Needs.
Yeah.
Essential. Fundamental. Because a true entrepreneur, to me, again, I'm 100% black and white. There's no, that's it. That's my life. And then I was on a show like this, and then the host was like, "Oh, your 100% black and white thinking has allowed endless color in your life." I'm like, "Yep, great. That's a great idea. I'll write a chapter about that." But so that's what I mean. But so there's only 3 essential traits. Only 3 because I simplify everything into patterns. And when you have these traits, you can only be one of 2 types of people, period, because I see the same pattern over and over. So we only partner with visionaries who live in abundance and who look at things as investments, not costs. So visionary, abundance, investment. When you're those 3 attributes, you can only be 1 of 2 types of people. 1, you're running high 6-figure to 10-figure business, US dollar. You see your family and friends whenever you want to, and you do what you like to do and what you're good at. So that's one group. That's overwhelming majority of the people I talk to. Or you're not there revenue profit wise, but you will be. That's a smaller percentage of the group I talk to, but still decent number. So there's no what do you cost to charge. There's no oh, I don't have this to do this. No, it's just let's go. So we've partnered with multiple billionaires, multiple gajillionaires. In 6 years, we just signed with her firm in the last couple months. We've had 8 people that have been literally dirt broke or used their last funds to go big with this service, to share their stories with the world. Because I don't understand excuses. A true visionary doesn't make excuses. Period. There are no excuses at this level, only action and investment. That's what separates entrepreneurs from humans.
And who was it you partnered with 6 months ago, Justin?
Well, I don't want to say her name because it's not fair to her. But I can't tell you how many people they write to me. Well, I can tell you it's been 8 people in 6 years, 8 companies where they're like, we're going big with this. We're going big. We found a way to invest, like second credit card payment, mortgage. I'm not saying that's the greatest advice, and I don't even like using that word, but I'm just saying, like, I don't understand excuses. Like, if someone comes to an excuse with me, I just don't understand it. It's illogical to me.
Now, I will say that there's a lot of people that'll hear this interview, and again, humans, not the high achiever side, that might hear the black and white side and say, this guy's automatron. He's just very straightforward.
Wrong. Okay, go ahead.
Couldn't be more incorrect. But one of the things I think brings out the very human side of you, Justin, the most, and the thing I love reading on a regular basis is when you put up your grateful journal. Can we talk about that and how that came about and why you use it? It's a weekly.
Well, I mean, again, thank you. I appreciate that. So So on Strength Finders, I'm dead last in empathy, second to last in includer. For people like you, endless empathy, endless. When you shared what's happening with you personally, I feel that at such a strong level, like I almost stop because it hurts me emotionally. When I hear someone like us who's really struggling with something, it really, because I know what it takes to get to this level without exception. And then endless inclusion. For people like us, endless inclusion. I don't understand people who make excuses. It doesn't make sense to me. If you have one life to live, why would if I mean that's what I'm guessing, who knows? But if you have one life to live, why would you make an excuse and not make the most of your life? That's illogical. I don't understand it. So for people like us, endless empathy and endless gratitude, endless. And again, right mindset attracts right network and creates right opportunity. So expressing endless gratitude attracts people who are grateful, and it eliminates people who make excuses. It eliminates people who aren't grateful, and it eliminates people who make excuses, and it attracts people that don't make excuses and are endlessly grateful uh, to share their story with the world. So the first thing I do every day is a grateful journal to my wife. What I'm grateful for her. My wife is a full stabilizing human pediatrician. Thank God. People like us usually marry stabilizing humans. So that I do that every day. I've done that for years. And then 5 days a week, I've done this for several years on LinkedIn. Do a grateful journal. I'll include this in that. What
Thank
I'm
you.
grateful for that day. It's a commercial for other people. But again, when you're constantly grateful, it's really hard to be ungrateful. It does happen sometimes, but it's really hard. And then that just attracts gratitude and repels arrogance. So it's not trying to be rude. It's just trying to be who I really am. And who I am is no BS, full directness. I want to spend time with my family and grow network with people like us. And I really don't care about anything else. I just want to do that all day, every day, which is fun for me.
Appreciate that, and I love that about you. It is a very authentic and real and straightforward way of looking at things and doing things.
Thank you.
Not all of us have that, even when we're ideating at a high level. So there's been epic business, there's been epic life, there's been Brepic as a company. What's coming next? What are the next things in line for you?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. My partner for second company, who you've spoken with several times, I believe, Mark Fujiwara, he's also a 9 quick start. We created LinkedIn without the BS invite only connectivity platform for the 0.1%. It's just technology for what already doing through PR firm. And then he has a book that he wrote, and I'm very grateful he added my name to the author list. It's about how to build a family office, which I know nothing about at all. But it talks about the new company being the connectivity platform for people like that to be able to build a family office, which again I don't know anything about. But to do that, for the most part, you need eight figures in assets to be able to do that. And then the other co-author is Russ Allen Prince, who's the editor of Private Wealth magazine. That's top publication for ultra high net worth folks on planet. And so Russ continues to do stories on me, which I'm very, very, very grateful for. And then he's like, well, whenever you have PR partners, introduce them to me. I'll do stories on them. So this mindset attracts people and opportunities like that. And then you just keep working on your mindset every single day.
And to your point, Russ and Mark, Mark in particular, have been really amazing connections for me. Very fortunate to have met both of them, and grateful for that. So, what would be the best way for somebody who's a high achiever, other than going and getting their Kolbe done first, making sure they have their Kolbe score, so when they reach out to you, they know because you're going to ask.
Yeah.
What is the best way for a high achiever to connect with you? And what criterion? I mean, you mentioned the three criterion earlier of who it is that's best to reach out to you. What are the best ways for them to do it, and who do you want to talk to?
Well, one, I appreciate you using the word criterion. I mean, that's very rarely used. You always hear criteria, and then people use the criterion wrong. So I appreciate you using it right. I haven't heard that word in a long time, but It's a good word. The main site, brepicllc.com, has a mindset scorecard survey. It takes 5 minutes. It's through the strategic coach platform. Very confident saying that's one of the top, if not top, entrepreneur groups in the world. Been very blessed and grateful to be in that since 2019. People love taking it. And what I've seen through that survey, people qualify or disqualify themselves with their own mindset. So that's the best way to repicllc.com and then do the visionary mindset scorecard.
Cool. Excellent. That's awesome. And again, if there's anything else coming up you want our listeners to know about, happy to take a gander. I know you just came back from an abundance
oh my God, yes.
Talk about that for a minute. How was that?
So my wife for some reason decided to marry me on May 4th, 2008. So May 4th, 2008. And that Abundance 360 event, that's the most extroverted I've been since May 4th, 2008, because it was hundreds of us's in one room. There were like exceptional, beyond exceptional was average at that. And then Dr. Peter Diamandis, that's his event. And then very grateful he wrote the foreword for Epic Life. He doesn't really do that. And he's one of the top entrepreneurs in the world. So like, think of the top futurists, top ideators, top investors. I mean, the smartest people on the planet. The highest IQ of anyone I met there was 173. And he was like 28.
Oh.
The lowest was 131. And so 131 is top 2% of world. That was the low. So basically everyone was high 136s and way above that. So like to be in a room like that constantly for 4 straight days, there were zero bad conversations. So it was like an accelerant of what I do one-on-one in this, but like it was a whole table. There was a table of 9 people, 9, and 4 of them were 10 quick starts. So a 10 quick start is 1 out of every 200 humans. At this table, it was what's 4 out of 9? 44%. It was 44%.
Wow.
I mean, and it was, and the others were 9 quick starts like you. I was a 7, so I was the lowest. Then it was 4 10s, a 7 was me. That's 5, and there were 3 9s and an 8. So that was one table. Wow. Just think about that. So that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
I was going to say, well, the amount of, as you said, the amount of, so say fertility for ideas there is wide open ground. So,
oh my God, amazing, limitless.
Look forward to knowing more about that the next time around. And limitless is probably one of the best ways to describe a lot of what you do, Justin. Thank you very much for being a guest and taking the time today. I really do appreciate it. It's been a pleasure talking with you, and looking forward to further conversations as we get things moving along.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you. My name is Andy Grider. This has been a production of Uniqueness is Power. You can find us at uniquenessispower.com. Show's called Unique this week. And we're always looking for folks that are blue ocean, folks that are doing something creative, something new, something that is in that ideation world of solving a problem and creating a successful global company. So if you know anybody that would be a great guest, please let us know. Take this interview and forward it along to the folks you know that are the high-level ideators, the folks who understand what it takes to succeed. They have the abundance mindset. They're looking for everything as an investment rather than a cost. And they're willing to take the big chances to take their company to the next level. And again, thank you very much for listening in, folks, and for spreading the show. Thank you, Justin, for being here.